When I reviewed the first issue of Chip Zdarky's Captain America run back in July, I liked it. Thought it was a great place for a great starting point for this new run. 4 issues later, and with the end of the first arc, our Secret Wars, I say without any exaggeration, this is Captain America's best run in damn near a decade. Now, that's not to say the past 10 years have been bad. I think for the most part, from what I've read of Remenders, which is like the first 5 issues, I think, I really liked it. Haven't read anything from Spencer yet. Wade's short stint with Legacy was fun. Chris Samney's artwork was the best part of that. Coates' run I've read very little of, and I don't remember a lot of it. And then the dual books, Sentinel of Liberty and Symbol of Truth, were very short-lived. I remember really liking Symbol. Thought it was a fun book. Then we get to J. Michael Straczynski, and I definitely need to reread it. But from what I do remember, it was just okay. Very weird, very out there. But here with Chip Zdarsky, he's kind of brought Cap back to a more grounded level. It's a very simple story that explores Steve's character in a pretty good way, I feel. So this first arc is a flashback arc, and also part of Marvel's sliding timeline. If you aren't aware of what that is, every 20 or so years, Marvel will slide their timeline more specifically, origins of characters to more align with present day. AKA, they only really want their characters in their 20s to 40s, and right now, 20 years ago was the Middle East. Easiest way to say it. So Iron Man, Punisher, and Cap now have their origins tied to that. Okay, got it? Let's move on. So now, current day Marvel, Captain America comes out of the ice in 2006, and the rest of the Marvel Universe happens around that time. So Fantastic Four, Iron Man, the X-Men's a little bit weirder because I haven't read anything from that. But all of the Marvel characters, their first appearances are roughly like early 2000s. But Cap comes out of the ice in the midst of both Iraq and Afghanistan. One of the big eternal dilemmas Steve faces is if Captain America is still needed. He was needed in World War II, but the U.S. that went to war against Germany and Japan is not the same U.S. that went to war against the Middle East. There is more distrust in the government, and wearing the stars and stripes doesn't strike the same hope as it did 60 years ago. So when Steve wakes up, he doesn't really want to do the whole superhero thing again. He immediately goes back to the U.S. Army, and he is sent to Latveria to rescue some hostages. And it's on that mission that he regains that faith and optimism, and that being the light is what he needs to do. So I kind of thought Doom was a weird choice for the story. He's a Fantastic Four villain. What business does Doom have to do with Captain America of all characters? But Zdarsky uses him in a really good way. Doom and, by extension, Latveria are very obvious allegories for the U.S. involvement with the Middle East. Zdarsky uses him to critique this notion of disguising acts of violence under freedom, doing horrible acts and then going, this is for your freedom, you'll thank us later, that type of notion. But what Zdarsky doesn't do is make Doom 100% correct. And Latveria, by that notion, still isn't 100% free. Yes, the people are there to free their lives. Doom isn't just going around killing everybody. Doom and Steve talk to this older lady at the shop, and she says, since Doom has taken over, she doesn't get robbed as much, but only because criminals are publicly executed, and it's this freedom built under fear. Doom in general is also just written really well, or at least I think he's written well. I'm not a big Fantastic Four reader, so I can't tell you if he's written badly, if he's written well. I can only go off of what I know about Doom, and I think Zdarsky got him. He's not morally better than Steve for calling out the U.S. There's a point. I'll probably throw the panels on screen because I'm blanking at the moment, but he also isn't written to be comically evil. Doom to me is a villain that obviously he's a villain, but let's get that out of the way. He's not an anti-hero. He's not some morally righteous person. What he is, though, is how do I explain this? Because I know what I want to say. Take the Red Skull as like the tier of comically evil supervillains. That's not what Doom is. I I don't know what I'm talking about here. I'll move on. So my favorite addition to this run is David Colton, the other Captain America in who Zdarsky paints as this dark mirror to Cap. In the story, Colton has a very similar origin to Steve. He's a skinny kid. He wants to fight for his country after it was attacked. The difference, Colton kind of knows more what the US does. He doesn't have the same faith and optimism like Steve does. He doesn't really think what he's doing is going to change or fix the world. What I really like is that their differences aren't ever really displayed. Yes, they clashed a bit in the beginning, but for the most part, they have different objectives. Steve, as naive as he is, thinks he can just stop Doom and help this rebel group take back Latveria, but because it's a Captain America book, it doesn't go well. Now, I've said a few times more on Comic Geeks than I have here on YouTube. But I've said a few times that Zdarksy has a really good voice for Steve. He has a great understanding of who Steve is and the dream that Steve fights for. The American dream is propaganda. I don't think anybody will dispute that, nor do I think anybody would say otherwise. To me, and what I'm about to say, this is my interpretation of it. What the American dream is, it's the idea that you can move to this country and build a better life than the one you had before it. Fortunately, in the past 250 years, as a country, the US hasn't always held itself to that. What Steve fights for is that dream, plain and simple. It's not he's not fighting for a twisted and corrupted version. That's the dream he's fighting for, plain and simple. The ideals and aspirations that the nation founded itself upon. Why the founding fathers rebelled against the British in the first place. Steve's confrontation with Ross gets that point across clear and sound. He fights for the dream and the people who believe in it, not the government. The art in this book is amazing, though. It's Valerio Skitty. I don't know. His name is not Shitty. I think it's Skitty. Shitty. I'm 100% mispronouncing that. My apologies, but it's clean. The action flow is great. I love the art in this. The colors are also amazing. Colors really go underappreciated in the industry, so you know what? I'm talking about colors. Frank Martin was I don't know, issue 6 hasn't come out yet. But for this first arc, Frank Martin was colorist on this. And God, the colors are amazing. He contrasts the warmer and the brighter colors of the US with this very gray, very blue look of Latveria. Cap's stealth suit blends in with the look of Latveria, while the World War II uniform just breaks out and it's bright colors and it sticks out. Doom and his armor and the greens really help him stick out. It's just the colors are really help complement work. And even how Valerio draws Doom, he looks like he belongs in Latveria, but he obviously sticks out. He has a more royal look to him. While he's just even his look makes it clear that his social class is very different, and that for as much as Doom talks about freedom, he still lives a much better life than his citizens. I cannot gush about this book enough. I had my doubts about Zdarksy writing it. I've said it before, and I'll continue to say it. I'd have to dig through multiple pieces of social media to find proof, but I've said it. You can find them. His Batman run just didn't do it for me, man. But this arc, he's proven himself, and I think the next arc it'll be good. It's dealing with Shield. He actually might do interesting things with Shield and Nick Fury Jr., who, as far as I'm aware, hasn't really done a lot. The aftermath of One World Under Doom looks like it's going to play a massive impact with this, as well as leading up to his big Armageddon event. This is the first time in a while I think I've actually been excited for a Marvel book month to month. And Marvel, I swear to God, if you even think about killing this book before it hits issue 10, if you even, or not before, after it hits issue 10, if this book does not escape the 10-issue curse, I swear to God, I will come to New York myself. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you not let me down? In comments below, and if you'd like to see more comic videos from me, then by all means, please subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified every time I press upload, or I upload a video, whatever. It's the thing I've been consistently bad at doing. That's all I've got for this video. Thank you for watching, and take care, y'all.